Hi everybody, it's Shane Lambert here, and I'm going to be talking about the fantasy picks for the NBA games tomorrow. It's NBA preseason games. Now, the one game I'm going to be looking at is Boston against Denver. Of course, the problem you have with a lot of preseason games in any sport is you don't really know who's going to play. And when you do have some kind of idea who's going to play, you don't know how many minutes they're going to get. So that creates a bit of a problem because when you pick a fantasy player, you don't get anything if he's on the bench. So what I decided to look at is just it's Boston against Denver. Both teams had the same coach at this time last year. Missoula's in his third season, I believe, with the team, and Malone's been there for quite a number of years. So I decided to look at how did the coaches award minutes to their starters in the preseason opener last season. So last season, Denver opened its preseason against the Phoenix Suns. Denver won 115 to 107. There was not a lot of playing time awarded to their starters. So Aaron Gordon had 13 minutes. Drew Holiday had 19. Was that Drew Holiday? Justin Holiday. I got it wrong, but I knew I was wrong. Jokic got 18 minutes, Murray got 18, and Caldwell Pope got 18. So not heavy minutes. There was heavy minutes to the bench. There's guys on the bench last season who played 30 minutes, including some names I don't really recognize. So let's take a look here. Hunter Tyson played 30 minutes. So there's a coaching philosophy there where he wants to give the minutes to the young players, and it makes sense. You know that you want to see if they're made of something, right? So if you're going with a Denver player, you want to look for their younger player, and you want to look for like you could take a younger player and hope that he gets big minutes and that he's actually up to standard for at least a preseason game. So looking at Boston's preseason opener last season, they beat Philadelphia 114 to 106. Boston did give significant minutes to their starters. Tatum played 27. Horford only played 21. That was a low for the starters, but that low is higher than the high for the starters for Denver last year. Porzingis played 25 minutes last season, but he's out. White played 25 in the preseason opener, and Brown played 26. And then looking at the bench, guys got between 5 and 23 minutes. Pritchard was a big player last season. Now looking at the fantasy prices with FanDuel, everyone's either 6,000, 5,000, or 5,500. So FanDuel, they use kind of a market-driven kind of approach to their pricing for players. So there's not a lot of staggering in pricing because it's the preseason opener and nothing has affected their formulas, I guess. What you could look at is, I don't think you would take Nikola Jokic in this game, because he's priced at $6,000, but everybody's priced at $6,000 of all the starters, and he's probably not going to get a lot of minutes. And when that's what you got to be thinking about, it's not just how good he is, right? I'd be very partial to taking Boston's best players, so I would go with Jason Tatum. Let's see here. What do we got for Boston's starting lineup? I'd go with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I would not go with Horford. I think he might see a general minutes reduction this season because of his age. I would also go with Peyton Pritchard. I think he's somebody that could play a lot off the bench. And then looking at Denver, let's see, they're just looking at their depth chart. Okay, they're not a very injured team. Looking at rookies that might play, or pretty young players that might play. I would expect some minutes to Julian Strother. I would expect some minutes for Hunter Tyson. That said, I don't think Hunter Tyson will score that much, even with a lot of minutes. I don't think he'll tally that many fantasy points for you. Their rookie is Trey Alexander. So, he's the guy that could break the game wide open. I'm just going to look to see if he's got a price. Yeah, he's a no photo kind of guy at FanDuel at this point. His price tag's $5,000. So he's in the cheap tier. So he played for Creighton. He's a rookie, it says. I don't know a lot about him. Well, here's the thing. Every season there's somebody that's a bit of a surprise, right? I'm not saying it's going to be him, but you do get the cheap price. He'll probably get some minutes, and if he ends up holding his own against Boston's backup players, then he's the kind of guy that could score you a lot of fantasy points. And if he's not heavily picked, then that's going to be a pretty good pick for you.